We then proceeded at that point into our simulated countdown.
Lunchtime, kids! All right! Hello, friends. It's lunchtime.
And welcome back to another phenomenal episode of the Lunch Break Show. I am Josh, in the studio with Matt. And no, Matt's not here, actually. Matt is gone. He took the day off like a slacker. And it is Zach and Anna and I were here getting things done, hopefully, throughout
Holding
the show.
The fort.
Yeah, we have an exciting guest in studio because we have a fun jingle that we like to play here. First off, we'll give the time to introduce yourselves.
I'm Joe Polero.
I'm Sean Polero.
Oh, get the mic up over there. You don't mind there. There we go.
Sean Polero.
Oh, take two. No mics.
That's
Hello, Tess.
Sean Polero.
There we go. There. See,
Hi.
we're a well-oiled machine here. That's on me. Usually, I have the soundboard iPad in here, and I'm working it, and I forgot to grab that today. So we have a favorite jingle that we play on Fridays, and it is the McDonald's jingle. The wake up to, and you guys write, or you used to write jingles back in the day.
Well, we're when you write, you never stop writing.
Exactly.
You just get older as you write.
So we have people here who you write marketing jingles, and we have. Do you want to do the Ford Whisper one first? We have some stuff that you guys have done recently from marketing. We have that video we're gonna play here in a second. Oh, we are not going to play it for you in a second.
Yeah. I don't think. Well, I think as I mentioned, what we normally do with the Ford Whisper commercials is we post score, so they're not really jingles. So what we do is we actually orchestrate to whatever the video is, so they're not set jingles. Because usually when you have a jingle, you're kind of locked in to a track, and so you have to make everything conform to that track. What we like to do now is to create a flow from a concept, and then write music to it, just like you would a movie. So it's more cinematic. It's more post-score.
Awesome.
So when did that change? When did that change in the art of marketing, where you stopped going, hey, I found this great hook, this great jingle, I found like this theme, this melody, and I want to make the product fit to the sound, into, hey, I found the image that I have, and I want that to match whatever sound that we're going to create.
We kind of do both. Let me just kind of say, like, if you're a jingle writer, like I started as a jingle writer back in the 70s, okay? Mm-hmm. So, and I wrote a lot of automotive and did some other fun jingles and worked with a lot of great writers and, composers. The easiest thing in advertising is to write a jingle. You write the jingle and everybody likes it, and then you just you conform your video and your message to the jingle. And
exactly.
Then, you got a good feeling piece. That's like brain dead type advertising. It's simple. It's easy. It doesn't require a lot of work for a person who's in marketing. It just, if you're a good writer, you can write something people like, they remember it. You lock it up to good video, and then everybody's happy.
Yeah.
The other approach is if you have concepts that are really cool or fun or different or really hard to communicate. For example, we're doing this Ford Whisperer thing for Randall Reed, who owns the Planet stores down in Houston, and he also owns several dealerships here, which they've not unleashed it in Dallas yet, but in Houston they've kind of introduced this concept. He's interacting with his cars, talking to them. He's using his insight into the vehicles to find the best deals for the best people. It's kind of a completely different off the chart type of an idea. when you produce commercials for something like that, to have like a jingle would be kind of weird because you'd have to conform everything to that piece of music. So what we've done is we've either orchestrated or written or found pieces that we license or whatever we might do that we can bring together to kind of create moods and different types of feels. So a lot of times when we're post-scoring, we have access to huge libraries of already pre-orchestrated pieces, or we'll orchestrate, or we'll take multiple pieces that have already been orchestrated, build them into a model for a post-score, like a movie, and then we'll write the segues and all the other pieces, orchestral pieces, maybe using a Vienna suite. Sean is I don't know if you know what the Vienna suite is, but it's.
I don't.
It's a symphonic library. It's basically all MIDI programming. So it's just a vast library of every sound you could possibly think of under the sun. It's used by major composers like Danny Elfman and who's the guy?
John Williams.
John Williams. I don't know if he uses it.
Well,
no.
He's
kind of old school.
If you want to produce something that sounds like a real orchestral, the Vienna suite is the way to go. At least for us, we've enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But so we'll do a combination of either a fully original composed piece or a combination of licensed pieces that have been brought together to kind of create a mood.
Yeah.
And then we'll add orchestration where needed to segue the different energy levels. Like it could be really laid back into high energy into laid back. So like one of the commercials that we did was on a racetrack, and it had a lot of different moods on it. It required the music to change and hits to come in at different places. Sean was, orchestrating and combining licensed and original pieces together to make it all flow.
That's one
we like doing that more than. Although we still write jingles. I don't know if are you guys from Dallas?
Yes.
Okay, so if you remember the back in the day when Rodeo Ford was here with Burton Gilliam, the cowboy. We produce all those commercials with Burton Gilliam. We still do, but he's in a different market now. He's up north a little bit. But back in the day when he was on, we don't care how you get here, folks. Just get here. You remember those commercials?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we did all that. We wrote all the music that went with those. There was a lot of silly jingles that went with that we wrote that were, bouncy, funny country type things. Back in the day when Central Kia was #1 in the nation, that's when we handled them when they were here. They have one store now. They had 3 stores back then when we handled that. They had jingles. Sean wrote some of them. We wrote some of them. But that's really not what we are. We're not jingle writers. I started as a jingle writer, and now we're a full service ad agency. So music is in our blood, and we love it. So we're kind of driven by music. So anything that we do has to have great music with it, regardless of whether it's an idea that has its own legs, that has to have the music to make it function properly, or whether it's a musical concept that we just marry to video.
I got that jingle going. I want to see this thing.
Me too.
I want to see what this
I'm
is
so
about.
curious.
Let's see what happens if I try to play
isn't
this.
the jingle? This is the car whisperer. So he
Yes.
put
Okay, this is not a jingle.
He put the Vienna suite, the music behind it, the orchestra stuff to kind of set them.
Gotcha.
mood.
Yeah.
Okay, did you find the one that says "Meet the Real Ford Whisperer"?
I think
Yes.
so. I think
it's that one.
I think that's the one.
That's a good example of a combination of a post score with licensed pieces and segued pieces or other pieces that are orchestrated with the Vienna suite along with it.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
All right.
Nothing so far. Awesome.
Okay.
Off to a great start.
2-0. Here we go.
Planet Ford Whisperer. Feel the power.
Look at that. The most beautiful Fords in the USA.
Hey, Mom, check it out.
Come on, bring it. It's a Jeep.
Yep, that's my dad, the Ford Whisperer.
Stop. Good job. Stop. Yeah, you did it. Great job. So proud of each and every one of you. The #1 F-Series selling dealer in the entire United States. We did it. Do you know that? We did it.
Randall Reed. He talks to his Fords to find your best deal ever with Texas-sized discounts on thousands of new Fords at planetford.com.
Planet Ford on 59 in Humble. And the all-new Planet Ford on 45 in Spring.
Let the Planet Ford Whisperer find your best deal.
Whoa, I think I found my match.
Feel the power at planetford.com.
#1 in the nation.
Randall Reed, the Planet Ford Whisperer. #Planet Ford Whisperer.
I picked up on 3 or 4 mood changes in that. The intro, the kind of the pulsing. And it's one of those deals that you can kind of hear when you know to look for it. Like I heard the sound of what an engine would sound like as it was going off. So that was cool.
Right. So you kind of have to be a musician to understand how to bring all that stuff together.
Yeah.
So it helps when you're in the advertising business. But if you're too much of a musician and everything is music, then you're kind of boxed in.
Sure.
Everything's about jingles, and then you're kind of boxed in with just that. So we like to do everything. I mean, we still write jingles, and we still have fun doing it, but it's going to be for something basic and simple. You know, like if you're just trying to create something that's going to be a mood that we want people tapping their feet to.
Yeah.
This is a very complex idea. We've got a whole series of commercials that we've developed where he's interacting with vehicles. We've got one called Roll Call, which we're about to bring out, where it's a drill sergeant doing like a drill cadence, like Planet Ford is #1, and then the cars are interacting as they're marching through the dealership, and it's all animated. It's pretty cool.
Oh wow!
And so that's got like probably 6 or 7 different palettes of music that happen throughout it. It ends up in a mambo, where the cars are doing a mambo line.
That's so cool.
So it's a lot of crazy stuff that's going on, which is fun, and you have to be able to be versatile with your music.
Yeah.
Music is everything when it comes to something like that. Really, when you watch a movie, if you don't have good audio or if you don't have good music, it pretty much sucks, doesn't it?
And you can tell when something is going on. If the sound is a bit off, it throws you. You may, if you're not a musician yourself, but you can tell something is kind of slightly off. So for sure, it makes a whole package.
You could literally have crappy video with good acting and a good soundtrack,
and
you don't even care about the video.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I appreciate your work. It's phenomenal. I can't wait for that to roll out here in the Dallas market. I'll let you guys go and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. When we come back, we have a fun episode of Things That Annoy Josh. That's coming up next on the Lunch Break Show.
Like annoying.
Awesome.
All right, and we are back on the Lunch Break Show. I am Josh. You know, we're trying. I keep forgetting there's Zach to grab the soundboard so I can control the sound from in here.
You know, honestly, at this point, like all we need it for is the raucous slide whistle effect, just all over the place. That's us.
You know, again, Matt usually sits in there. Matt usually pushes all the buttons. We can live with Zach with Matt taking a vacation.
You know, there was a time I used to do this all the time, and it was great. Yeah, and then we upgraded equipment, and like I got lazy. Yeah, and like here we are now. So
so do we have the Walmart video by any chance?
No,
we do not.
I don't think. Do we?
I said it.
You got it?
Yeah, it's on the.
All right, you two banter for a minute. I'll make something happen.
Right.
All right, yeah, just
So
stall. That's what we're doing.
This is one of those deals where I have things that annoy me, and I'm usually a very lovable, likable guy. I think I have a lot of things that I have going for me in that regard. But there's sometimes that I'll watch something or I'll see something, and it just irritates me. It gets under my skin. And it bothers me, and you know, and I tend to strike out when I see that.
And then that's normally when we see you through a different line. We're like, Josh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah, no, it's
really?
true. So there's a video out, and I labeled this the next yodeling, the Walmart yodeling guy. He is a Elvis impersonator who this had to be put through by Walmart. Walmart had to realize the Walmart Yodeling Kid did amazing things for them.
Conspiracy.
And so, well, because it's being played through the PA at Walmart.
That seems like a scam, then.
It's a scam.
Yeah.
So there's a Walmart guy who's like singing on a microphone, walking through Walmart. I'm hoping it's like the Walmart in Graceland. Like
right.
it's the.
Oh, it better be.
It better be. And he's like, goes up, and I have some problems. I'm not sure if we watch the whole thing. We can go ahead and put it on if you have it, and then we can pot it down a little bit.
Yeah, let's take a look. There's audio on this, right?
It's the video. It's muted
does
on
he
the player.
sing in the yodeling video?
It's the audio is muted on the player.
There it is.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
This is a bit too much.
He gets handsy. He gets handsy right here.
Oh God!
I'm not okay with that.
Who is that?
A random shopper. Like that's my first I'm annoyed. 'Cause I'm just trying to get my eggs and my sandwich
Did you catch that push away? Yeah. What was that? Good Lord.
No, he was just petting him on the back, like thanks, buddy.
Was he?
Yeah.
Was that what he was doing?
I think so.
I don't know.
And then he goes up to this sweet old woman who is just enamored. She is feeling the vibe this guy's putting out.
He's inching over.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
She's in a.
Yeah.
She's on oxygen,
Yeah.
man.
Hey, she needs to be.
Look at
her heart.
no.
Her heart has increased significantly.
Oh my God.
Oh, shout out to the hand.
This is why I never go to Walmart. Shenanigans like this that happen all the time. And I just I don't want to be a part of that. I want to go in, I want to get my goods, and I want to leave.
Yeah, this doesn't warm my heart. It just makes me sad.
Yeah, it bothers me.
Yeah.
Am I the only one thinking
can't look
here?
away.
Look at her happy face. She's living. This is probably the best day she had for ages, guys. Look at her face. She's living this moment like.
No,
she's probably thinking this is Elvis, and she's in.
That reminds me that the good times have come and gone. That's what that reminds me of. That Elvis was a thing and it was great, and she was probably up and dancing about, and now it's over and you're on the downslide. Give it up. It's all done. It's so sad, right? I mean, am I wrong in thinking that way?
No, I keep thinking this is sweet.
I just get annoyed by when you're trying to do propaganda. You're trying to do gimmicks to make me feel oh, it's so fun shopping here. It's never fun shopping at Walmart.
It was never fun ever.
It's not meant Walmart. No, you're not meant to be a fun shopping experience. I go there for the low prices,
right?
And that's why I go to Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been in years, but that's why that's why your customer goes there.
Yeah,
they're not going there because you guys have zany impersonators that roam the aisles touching people, which is wildly inappropriate. Or swooning for little old women and rascals. That's not your lane. Stick to your lane. Low prices, and then just the. I don't want to pick on the employees, so I'll just say people who are not customer service oriented employees that just get the job done. Get the job done. Get me in and out as fast as possible, and I may think about going there. Otherwise, I'm done.
I'm jumping in. I'm sorry, but the whole the People of Walmart website exists for a reason.
It does.
You go to Walmart, and I can speak as a foreigner. You know Walmart not because of the low prices, but because of the shenanigans that happen there. So you go there, it's gonna be some sort of spectacle going on.
I was gonna cut to the People of Walmart website just real quick. The first photo I can't show on the stream. The first one on there is too not safe for work for me to run here. Good Lord, Anna.
Yeah, no. I like how the foreigner, I'm using my air quote fingers here, the foreigner in the room says she loves to go to Walmart to make fun of Americans.
No.
Yeah.
It's for the entertainment.
It's certainly entertaining. I want to be honest here. I'm going to make my claim. If I go to the grocery store, it's because I need to get things, obviously, and to get groceries.
Yep.
And I don't go to Walmart. But if I was to stray to a Walmart one day, desperate times, desperate measures, who knows? And I walked in, and they were playing Elvis, and that guy was walking around the cashier. No lie, I'd probably leave. Yep. Honestly. I would go the extra mile. I would drive somewhere else. I couldn't do it. Walmart's already unbearable enough. having to stand there while that creep's walking around grabbing bald people? No, sir.
Yeah, no, sir.
Not on my watch. Not in my America.
I love it.
Not my Elvis.
And on that,
I can't do it.
We're going to go to a quick break. We have Sarah Strackhouse in next, giving us the news that you needed to be informed of. Again, a quick 30-second break, and we're coming right back with news. And we are back. That was the America theme playing for all those fine Americans at Walmarts all over. Walmart? See, there we go again.
Walmart.
That's my East Texas coming out of me.
Right.
The Walmarts over there.
I want you to
Walmart
know,
stores.
it's been a rough beginning of the show. Rocky start, say the least. But all I needed to feel better was to make fun of an old guy at a Walmart. I feel great.
Yeah.
Day started.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Yes.
get back on track.
back.
Let's
It
do
was
it.
kind of cute.
It was kind of cute. In studio with us now is Sarah Strackhouse, our correspondent, filling us in on all the things happening in the world around us that you need to know about. Sarah, what is going on in the news?
So, unfortunately, I have a sad story to start off with. Top news this morning: American chef, author, television personality, and CNN storyteller Anthony Bourdain died at 61, so young. CNN reports that the cause of the death was a suicide. He was in France at the time working on a new episode of his series Parts Unknown. CNN says that he was a master at his craft, was an advocate for safer working conditions for restaurant staff, and won basically every award in his industry that they had to offer.
Yeah.
So, really,
I think it's one of those. When I saw that headline this morning,
Mhm.
I thought, man, that obviously stinks. You know,
Yeah.
he was phenomenal in his field,
Right.
But a part of me was like, yeah, I'm not shocked. I'm not. That was not a surprise to me. You kind of see the writing on the wall as his stories tend to get darker and darker and more gloomy and more gloomy.
Yeah.
And I think Zach and I were having this chat today. He had, to me, the job that I would love to have.
that would be an amazing he traveled all over the place. He traveled the world and got to kind of talk about his love, his passion.
Yeah. And you know that there's BS that comes with every job.
course.
Every
Right.
job has its
Nothing's
goods and its
perfect.
bads.
No.
But it's one of those that just goes to show you, no matter what you do, no matter what you have, there's always demons that you fight, and it sucks when the demons win.
Yeah.
So,
and it's true. You truly never know what goes on behind closed doors.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, moving on to our next story. Trump left for the G7 summit this morning. Tensions are a little high right now because he's been arguing, shocking, mostly on Twitter. Right? Cue gasp.
Yeah, exactly. Here, we have the sounder. Go ahead.
Well, he has been kind of arguing back and forth with other world leaders planning to be there about trade issues and tariffs. So Trump has said that he plans to leave the two-day summit a little bit early tomorrow morning after a women's empowerment session, and he'll head to Singapore where he's planning to meet with Kim Jong-un, the North Korean leader, later next week. So the meeting is happening. So we told you we'd keep you updated. There we go. As of right now, it's going on.
A friend of mine, he works in finance in New York. I swear he works for the CIA because he goes to like all these like really resort like executive places all the time traveling. And he actually stayed at the Ritz in Singapore.
Oh, wow.
And took a picture of his hotel. He goes, Trump's gonna really enjoy the view. I'm like, oh, nice. Yeah.
Good,
So
good.
yeah.
How delightful for you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, also making top headlines this morning in Jeff Curley's rundown, an immigration worker was detained by ICE after delivering a pizza to an army base. Fox News reports that Pablo, and I'm hoping I'm saying his name correctly, Villavicencio.
We'll let the
Villavicencio?
Villavicencio. There we go. Yeah, I was gonna say let you take the lead on this one. Well, apparently he was delivering pizza to an army garrison in Brooklyn. According to the Associated Press, it's customary at that base that if you don't have a military ID, that you go through a routine background check after you present your ID at the gate. And when they ran his information, it came up that he had warrants out for his arrest for immigration law violations. So now he's in Immigration and Customs Enforcement custody, ICE custody, pending removal. His wife has spoken out about it, saying that he wasn't committing a crime and it's, quote, unhuman. New York is one of the 400 jurisdictions in the U.S. known as a sanctuary city, but it's unknown right now what's going to happen to him. I mean,
but all sanctuary, again, if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
jump in. All sanctuary city means is that like they're not going to actively pursue you.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of where the struggle is that, you know, a lot of these sanctuary cities are kind of making that rule, but at the end of the day, federal law trumps that.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Can I jump in with a hot take here?
Yeah, please.
Absolutely.
Obviously, and somebody should be checked over before they go to a military base.
Yeah, of course.
But if you're bringing pizza to the troops, come on, give the guy a pass, for God's sake. Like, what's it all for?
I do
what
understand
are we doing?
that. But at the end of the day, he did break the law.
He did.
And if there's one place you probably shouldn't break the law, it's an army base.
Like, if I knew if I had
Not that he broke it there, but, you know.
Right.
I knew I had warrants out for my arrest, and I was a delivery guy, and
I'd call him
I
sick.
look at the delivery and go, the police station. You know what, guys? I'm going to pass on this one. Can anyone else take this one? Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, there were certainly some lapses in judgment across the spectrum. All right, violence on all sides. But what I'm saying is, like, what this does now is every illegal delivery driver, and let's admit there's probably a couple. All right,
Right.
what are they going to do when it's like, hey, take pizza to your local law enforcement or troops? Like, well, not doing that. Like, what are we doing? All we're doing is tearing apart the people in these institutions who are here to protect us, who are here to help us, who are here to do good work for America.
You do not get
all
to
we're doing,
all
we're doing is driving them away and keeping pizza away from the people who might need it most. So I guess it's fair. You're right. This guy committed a crime, but this sets a precedent. All right, and I think that might be more harmful over the long term than one guy delivering a couple of slices of pie
you have
to some
no
troops.
idea what his backstory is. Just like I don't have an idea.
It's
He
true.
might be a wonderful stand-up human.
Sure.
He might be a not so wonderful stand-up human. We have no idea what his backstory is. So the fact that he does have warrants out for his arrest, in my mind, is kind of a red flag.
Would the question be, do you want people with warrants coming to your house, knocking on your door to give you pizza, or do you not want guys with warrants giving you?
The difference is I'm not an army garrison full of armed men.
Well, yeah.
If I was, I'd feel differently. Yeah, pizza, I'll take that risk.
But, you know,
but I mean,
a lot of the bases that you can't carry.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah. Apparently, he was applying for a green card with his wife.
he was going through the process.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's a bummer. You're right. I'm soapboxing for the sake of soapboxing. Like, obviously, this guy.
It's a good debate. Like,
yeah.
in my mind, if I were in a situation where I was trying to seek asylum or something, who knows? Maybe I'd cross, illegally.
I mean, like,
but
what
at the same time, we have to keep the laws in place.
Right.
I think we can all agree we love pizza.
What if? What if?
When it comes down to it, pizza is the winner.
What if, like, a building is on fire and the firefighters are like, we're out of water, and there's an illegal immigrant, like, here, I've got a bucket full. Like, what do we just arrest him and say let the place burn down? Like, we gotta have our priorities.
You gotta realize that argument crumbles super fast.
Of course it does, which is why I'm making it from the control room.
Okay.
Like, I understand that this is a losing battle here.
All right.
I'm don't worry
Sarah,
about me.
your third story, please.
Actually, our fourth, our kicker. So the saying, chicken running around with its head cut off?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, this is kind of along those lines, except for it's a snake. So the snake was still biting with its head cut off. Sky News reports that a Corpus Christi man was bit by a 4-foot venomous rattlesnake in his backyard after chopping its head off with a shovel.
And it was still 4 feet? No, obviously not. Yes, thank you. The low-hanging fruit, thank you.
Yep.
Yes, I've done it again.
Well, apparently he had loss of vision, bleeding, seizures, and had to be flown to a hospital because of that bite. And he was in critical condition. They thought it was going to be fatal.
Right.
He is stable now, but he also had to have 26 doses of anti-venom.
26?
26. And more than a week later, he's still experiencing weak kidney function from the dead snake.
This guy is awful at killing snakes.
Yeah.
He is awful at killing snakes.
Apparently a doctor, and now you're like, okay, would have been nice to have this information before, but apparently an anti-venom doctor who was there said these snakes can live a long time even after their head's chopped off.
Well, that's like, so growing up in East Texas, I've killed my fair share of snakes. And their bodies always move.
Right.
But their organ, they'll still clamp down and they're looking to defend themselves.
It's like a reflex?
Their brains don't know that they're dead.
Right.
And so they're just going to town to defend themselves. And but why are you getting close enough? Like, whenever I killed a snake, I would kill it and then walk away. Like, I'm not coming back.
Right.
Like, I would come back a day later to, like, bury it or whatever it is. But
yeah, I'm familiar with, like a gecko or a lizard. If you lop off its tail, it'll grow it back.
Yeah.
Are snake's the same way at all? Like, is there a little portion on the end?
Like, I would think
snap
like
off the
worms.
bit and
No.
You know, I
Worms?
just had the exact
worms
same
you can
thought.
chop
That's
into like
terrifying.
9.
Yeah.
I've never done this. I don't want to sound like a psychopath.
In your spare
Apparently,
time.
yeah, right. I know when I go home on Tuesdays.
Right.
No, apparently you can chop it into like 9 pieces and it has 9 hearts and can live.
Really?
Like just continue to live each piece or something like that.
So
snakes aren't that way.
It's something like that. And I don't know if snakes
I'm
like
not a
that.
zoologist, obviously, so I'm not 100% sure that not every species of snake. The ones I've dealt with, one chop to the head and they're done.
It's toast.
It's toast.
But the body still moves.
Yeah, body moves for a while.
I'm trying to think about how big 4 foot snake. Like right?
It's 4 feet long.
Yeah, well, probably these tables. Probably these tables at least.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So that was frightening. We have another like creepy crawler thing we're gonna get into later on, where a guy found a giant spider. Spiders are my arch nemesis. I hate spiders and I hate snakes because you can't hear them coming.
Yeah.
So
well, I hate spiders because they're small and they're shifty. You never know where they are.
yeah.
Snakes, at least you can see.
Good point. So
Right?
we have
That's terrifying.
we have a lunch break guest coming up. We have the guys called Coffee with Kyles. They're coming in next with our last 2 episodes. So Sarah, thank you so much.
Thanks for having
me. We'll be right back with you guys.
Cool. All right, everyone, say hello.
And we are back on the Lunch Break Show. I am again Josh with Anna and Zach. Matt is on his glorious vacation, I believe in Turcos, enjoying himself beachside right now with a.
It better be glorious. That much is
I'm
true.
going to go ahead and assume it's some sort of daiquiri of sort. That seems like Matt's drink.
Matt does not mess around. Matt goes on vacation. Like some drink to remember, Matt drinks to forget. You know what I mean? Like that's.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a
Megan
very
was
real
saying that
problem.
he was watching.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's watching. He's watching your performance.
Just
they have-
judging.
yeah.
Well, Matt. Good for you out there. Like, great. I'm glad you get to vacation, you jerk.
So, Kyle and Kyle, you guys are going to be on for 2 different breaks. I'll let you choose the breaks you want to talk about first. We have Vegan Cheese Renaissance happening here in Dallas.
Perfect, that's me.
A real winner.
Yeah, or creepy crawler things are popping up all over Dallas.
Creepy crawler things are popping.
Boom, so here we go.
go.
The first segment,
Okay.
they started off by a guy who was in Elkhart County. I'm not sure where that is. It's not in Texas. It's like in Utah or something. And he found a giant spider on his boat. And the spider is bigger than the size of his hand. It is called the beast spider.
Good Lord, look at that thing.
Wow. What?
Wow. That was on his boat. So he did a Facebook tweet and said, "Hey everyone, beware, this spider exists." First
This
off,
is
the fact that
I don't even know what to say. I thought the only like major like huge spiders were over in the Middle East called camel spiders.
Yeah.
And those are the size of like raccoons.
Yeah, they're huge.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! I thought you'd say Australia.
Are they in Australia too? Are they migrating?
I don't know.
migrating.
Are they moving
I
around
just
on
know
us?
everything that moves in Australia will kill you. That's how the saying goes.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, let's go
Australia,
there.
it's a very real place.
I no longer like Australia or
Yeah.
koala bears.
Oh wait, are you sure Australia is real? Because flat earthers say that it's not real.
Ooh.
It's a made-up place.
We debated flat earthers on the lunch break because I can get on a soapbox about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we have not yet.
Someday.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
Is Kyrie Irving a flat earther?
Was she?
Was she?
Kyrie Irving,
I don't know.
NBA player. There is a major NBA star that is like,
That is
I am
true.
a huge flat earther, and he came out and then he like said, no, I'm not that way anymore. I educated myself. Then he came back and was like, no, Earth is flat. And I'm like, all right, pick a side.
Yeah,
But
come on.
isn't the flat earther thing that's their biggest like claim to fame is, guys, when you're up in the air, you don't see a curve. Like, isn't that like their whole thing is you don't see a drop
Right.
off? You
Yeah.
don't see
Right.
the curvature, so therefore it has to be flat.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and the pilots are in on it. Everybody's in
Yeah.
on it. The moon's a hologram.
Yeah.
I've been lied to.
Yeah, well, a hologram. So that spider story. Another thing that's happening here in Dallas, the clever tie-in, is there's a tarantula infestation. Those big words that scare you on the news that they're calling for, saying that Dallas is seeing more and more tarantulas come through, but not to kill them. Because they don't want to harm you in any way. Yeah. So the brown tarantula is common to Dallas, and they said because of recent storms, Hurricane Harvey, those kinds of things, they're transforming their way into Dallas Fort Worth, and that's where they're kind of migrating right now.
Y'all, I'm packing my bags. I'm
yeah.
leaving.
No, come on now. They're supposed to be friendly. It's
I
fine.
know they're friendly. And you see guys that let them like crawl on their face. There is no way I would do that.
Absolutely not.
Just let them move in, right?
Absolutely not.
You eat like three spiders
A year.
in a year or something.
I
in your
don't think
lifetime
that's
or
a real
something?
statistic. I really don't.
I
So
think
actually,
statistics are made up.
this is good. All right, so we should open a Cambodian restaurant here. My wife's Cambodian. This is a delicacy in
I would do
Cambodia.
that.
The tarantula
What?
legs. Yes, they eat.
What, you would eat
tarantulas.
it?
I would eat it. I am so looking forward to
Let's do
finding
it.
a place where I can go and actually go with some people that would be up for it too. My husband isn't, so I'm like, I gotta go on my own, I guess. But now, yes, that's an idea I'll support.
I would do it.
That's
I would do
eat
it with
it.
a lot of peer pressure. Probably.
I would do it for a lot of money. So
Really?
yeah, not peer pressure.
All right, I'm gonna have to work in. I would do it with a lot of peer pressure into my repertoire because that's fantastic.
Yeah, why not?
What wouldn't I do with a
It's
lot of
a
peer
story.
pressure?
Like, what
think
were you
that's
up to over the weekend? Well, I ate bugs. That's great.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to,
No.
not because I was asleep.
No one because I was asleep. no one says I ate bugs. The response isn't, oh great. That's never the response to I ate bugs. It's like why or gross or like very few people I will say are cultured enough to hear someone say I ate bugs and their natural response is cool.
And they always say, "Oh, it tastes just like chicken." And
It doesn't.
And I'm like, "Well, why don't you just eat chicken?" Then?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Chicken's been proven to be okay. Yeah. It doesn't hurt you in any way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with eight-legged freaks crawling around everywhere, and we're not supposed to kill them, is that like some kind of bee theory? Like,
well, no. What they're saying is like, there's no need to kill them because they're not going. They're not. They don't harm you. Is what they say. They don't harm humans.
But then, weren't they like? Isn't it mating season or something for them? Is that like why we shouldn't?
I did
think
not
that's
get the
what
calendar
story-
update, so I'm not for
Right.
sure. Whether
I didn't get a
think that's what
notification
the
about that
story
one.
Said, guys.
No.
I have no idea if it is. It could be. Maybe they're on the prowl. I don't know how brown tarantulas get down.
What's that mating call sound like, K-Dub?
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I have no idea. Something like
What is that? You just tapping on your microphone?
Yeah, yeah, that would be the
There
mating
it
call.
is.
They tap out the rhythm of the
It comes
groovy
at night.
beats. Yeah,
the rhythm of the night.
and then do we have the bees?
Yeah.
There's this thing, and again, I know there's someone upstairs named Samantha who loves bees. But there are
I'll check the comments.
there's a beehive. There's a beehive at a North Texas apartment complex, and that's the beehive.
Wow.
People have to like walk past them, and I know that for Samantha and the bee lovers out there, that bees don't want to do us any harm. But at the same time, I do not want to have my front door next to that.
Absolutely not.
No way.
I'm not a beekeeper in another life, so I don't want to have to put on like a hazmat suit to get in and out of my room. Like, come on, now, guys.
You know, these are the times you get on your knees and thank your deity of choice that we live in a world with nozzle technology where you can shoot a can of Raid 25 feet and hit that thing. Are you kidding me?
The only thing I wish is that Raid was longer, like a 50-foot shot.
Right?
Yeah, I want to be as far away as possible. I would love it if I could like pull up in my car and do it. Yeah. My wife told me the story one time. She was like, they were traveling together, and it has nothing to do with bees, by the way. And she was traveling with this girl who left the top down to her convertible. They were in California. She was in college. And they put the top up, and they were getting ready to go somewhere, and they turn on the AC, which isn't normally common in California. And it was either butterflies, but I think it was moths. Moths flew out of the AC.
Horrifying.
Yeah, and they were driving.
Imagine?
Yeah, and of course my wife isn't the best under pressure to begin with, and there's like moths flying out the car. Oh man, I wish only that I could have seen that in person.
I suppose now would be the opportunity where we tell the public that if you have a bee problem like this, you can call pretty much any local beekeeper, and they will come get them for free, right? Because save the bees. Yeah, it's bees. Not like yellow jackets, just bees.
Yeah.
But supposedly they will come get bees.
So
at no cost.
that's where the bee lovers. Okay, bees are fine. Yellow jackets, those a-holes, no.
No
Kill
way.
them all.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yeah, hornets. Nah.
I don't do spiders. I don't do ants. I don't do roaches. I don't do anything. Like, I'm just not a fan at all. Like, bees, they serve their purpose. I get it. They pollinate things.
Yep.
I get it. Do your thing.
Yeah.
And, balance our oxygen and
sure. You make plants happen, and flowers are important,
photosynthesis,
and honey is good for you. Sure, yeah, like that all works in agriculture.
But apparently bees are cuddly. They will like snug with you and everything.
Like a bee beard, you mean? Yeah.
We had a bee expert on the other day, and he said bees are great until they want to sit down. Like it's fine if a bee lands on you, just don't let it sit. He goes, because that's what stings you, that's what hurts. But
I
for
do
the most
have
part,
a bee story, guys.
Oh, please.
So this was back in Portugal, and I was just getting ready, just dressing up, and then I just sit down, and I think I had like my pants put up, but not like tight and stuff. So I sit down, and there was a bee inside. That hurt. I don't hold grudges.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like 8.
That's rough.
So did it like sting your behind?
My leg.
Okay, so it wasn't like like you like sat down on the bee and like a bee got your.
I did because it was underneath. Yeah, I sat on it,
Oh,
and
man.
once I was like, "What the hell?" I thought it was like kind of like those wildflowers that have like stings or whatever. Took it off, and it's just like these bees just like boop, 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 and off he goes. Window
You didn't
out.
even.
I didn't kill it.
He made it.
He made it.
Why would it?
That's good point. Could be a she for all I know. No, I think the deal with bees is if they sting somebody, the stinger comes out, and then they're probably not long for this world, right? That's the deal.
Right.
Whereas wasps can just keep going.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They're the worst.
Yes.
They're the worst.
They're so mean.
Yeah.
Who needs them?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, as a kid, got the crazy idea, throw a tennis ball at the wasp nest and then run. That was my first and last encounter with wasps because my face was destroyed after that.
I have a brother-in-law who's from Massachusetts, and he's an older gentleman. He's probably in his mid-40s, and he's a rough and tumble construction guy. He wears like the same denim, like not the same pair, but like he has like 6 pair of like rough denim, like not the soft 7 jeans, but like the true cowboy tough denim, and he has the same like 7 white t-shirts.
Duluth Trading Company.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
product here.
He has like he has a pack of cigarettes in his pocket at all times. He is just a good old boy through and through. Nice. And he was outside working on some stuff, and I had come back in, and I was washing my hands, and I see him, and I've never seen him run before. But I saw him in the backyard running and like swatting his hands like this, running around. And apparently, as like a last, like I'm about to head inside, I just want to see one more thing. He took an axe and like hit the side of a tree to like, I guess, like plant his axe. But inside the stump of that tree was a wasp nest.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it was, again, I felt bad for him, obviously.
Wow.
I feel bad for you, Warren. But at the same time, it was hilarious watching him
It's like
run
movies.
around. Oh yeah, because he's not the agile like me. To see me run around doing that would have been just as equally as humorous.
I'm picturing it right now.
Yeah.
Does that still work if you're getting pulled over by a cop and you're like, oh, you just jump out of the
Tommy boy.
car? Does that still work?
Bees are everywhere.
Yeah, I don't think that would work anymore. I'm sure enough people have tried that by now.
Yeah.
The only thing that I've ever seen get me out of a ticket was when I was in Oklahoma for school. I was a school bus driver, and so I went and got my CDL. And with my CDL, the trick to taking a wacky driver's license photo is you have to walk in that way. You can't like do it up for the camera. You have to walk in and basically own the bit. You have to own the bit for the full like half hour you're there. So I walked in, Hawaiian shirt, pop collar, hair all the way up, like spiked all the way up, fluffed out, froed out, with like a weird face. And to the point where you'd be like uncomfortable, be like, sir, would you mind looking normal? Is this inappropriate? And so and you also have to find the right person at the counter who's like, I don't care. Like I'm just taking pictures, man. I'm just trying to pay my rent. I'm not trying to save the world. So I had a picture that looked utterly ridiculous, and it got me out of 3 speeding tickets. Where the cop saw it and went, "Okay."
Oh my gosh.
This is you, and I'm not going to give you a ticket.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I think one cop actually said, "I've never given a ticket to a special needs kid before. I'm not going to start now."
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was a golden picture.
Wow.
And I wish I
Do
still
we
had
have that
it.
picture?
No,
Oh.
I lost it.
Yeah, that's the big question. Can we find a
Big
copy
question
of
is,
this?
can we find this?
I looked one time because I thought it's worth to me buying. Like, if I can find it on like the Oklahoma registry but it was so easy to get fake IDs in Oklahoma. Like literally, you see them like take a picture and they laminate it themselves with like Office Max laminator stuff. Wow. So I doubt they had like up to date back files on tech. But if I could ever find it, I would buy it and just have it, just because it's a pretty epic photo.
Man, that's a shame.
Yeah, so we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have our next topic. Sorry for the rambling. We have vegan cheese renaissance coming to Dallas-Fort Worth. That and more on the next break from the lunch break.
About it until she told her story about industry.
All right, we are back on the Lunch Break Show. I am Josh with Anna and Zach in the production room. We also have the Coffee with Kyles, the guys from the Coffee with Kyle podcast here, both named Kyle and Kyle.
That's right.
Easy.
So you can find them on LinkedIn. They're also on YouTube and Facebook, Coffee with Kyle. There is a cafe called Coffee with Kyle. That's it's like a restaurant somewhere. We looked it up yesterday. I forget where it is now. I think like Seattle or
Maybe,
one of
yeah.
those hipster places.
Interesting.
So I
You
guess
gotta go
we need
and
to
do a
visit
show
there.
there.
We need to visit there.
We do, and well, lucky for us, it's Kyle's with an S, so it differentiates.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Just a little bit.
TM trademark. Yeah.
Got to be on brand, guys.
Yeah. So there is a chef who is trying to make a big drive here in Dallas-Fort Worth for vegan cheese, and we're talking about this during the break. And vegan cheese is awful.
Terrible.
It's disgusting. Drive right out of Texas.
So there is again, that is true. Texas is like a big hub for queso, and everything dipped or drenched in cheese is what we love. So there's a guy who spent some time at the Saber Vegan Gastronomy Academy in Spain.
That sounds legit.
It does sound legit.
Did he get a certificate?
He did, yeah.
Right?
He got he's trying to bring goat cheese, the taste of goat cheese, and put it in a vegan form here in Texas. In Dallas. 2 issues. 1, you've picked the wrong market to try to bring a vegan renaissance. Like I think California, fine. Oregon, top notch. Seattle, yep. New York, even fine. They would be more on board than trying to find a way to bring your non-cheese cheese here. So he thinks he's perfected it, and he goes, "I hated vegan cheese, and I left, and I spent this time in Spain working on my process and the way that's all done, and I have found the better version of vegan cheese." Here's, I think, how this happens, and I want to float this idea past you guys and see what you think. The only way that I think you can eat vegan cheese and go, that's great, is if you haven't actually had cheese in a long time.
Yeah, or ever.
Yeah, if you forgot how cheese tastes.
Yeah.
Because you've been ruining your palate with nuts and acorns and leaves to make up a cheesy-like substance.
Right.
That is the only way you can eat it and go, oh, yeah, that's pretty close. Because my wife's a vegetarian, and she would go full vegan if it wasn't for the cheese.
The cheese, yeah.
And I'm going to give a shout-out to Spiral Diner. They have one in Fort Worth, one in Dallas, and then one in Denton. Their nachos with the almond, the cashew cheese is phenomenal.
Interesting.
I love that stuff.
Yeah. Cashews are really, like, there's a place in Dallas called Be Raw. Like, they do like some raw nachos with cashew cheese. Yeah. But it doesn't taste like cheese. But it's good.
It
does not taste like cheese.
It tastes like creamy sauce.
Yeah, like a creamy sauce.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know what's interesting though? So let's talk about this. So he's choosing Dallas as his market. I actually experimented on my own self. I went vegan for a full year, see if I could do it, and I did it. Then I had a kid, and things changed. Right, went back to meat. But besides that, I found out that Denton County is like a top, like, fact check me here, a top 15 or top 10 vegan city in the U.S.
Yeah,
which is like,
I'd buy it.
Yeah,
DFW is scoring 3rd or something in the U.S. for vegan restaurant and vegan options. So I agree. I gotta say, Josh,
just don't touch the cheese.
There is a market.
So apparently I'm wrong.
Well, here's the thing.
Just don't touch the cheese. Just don't touch the cheese. Like, my life, like, is extra cheesy. Like, everything I get is standard extra cheese.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, continue though.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, like, if you can make that thing successful here in Dallas, which is gonna be a tough crowd, right? Then wow, you can make it successful pretty much anywhere. So yeah, I see that angle of it for sure.
I'm obviously reading it. It was in D Magazine, and the chef's name is Troy Gardner. So obviously, I'm curious because he says he's not vegan, but he's mastered vegan cheese. And he is trying to bring this revolution because I think he realizes, much like what we're saying, is cheese is what holds people back from being full-on vegan. I personally, I'm not vegan or vegetarian or I like meat. And I like eggs.
Me too.
And I like milk. All of those different things. I haven't had milk in a long time because we don't have it in the house, but I do enjoy those things. I think I can tell a difference between mac and cheese with, like, actual milk and, like, mac and cheese with, like, this soy base, like vanilla. It's a weird thing to have your mac and cheese have that. But I can make arguments for, okay, it's fine, like the health comparisons are great. But if you could find a way, like what he's saying, to master vegan cheese, I think that would be a game changer in the vegan realm. I think a lot of people love the health benefits that you get from being raw or being vegan without the cheese.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I agree. And if it's Troy Gardner.
Troy Gardner. He said he's not vegan, but his favorite cheese is Manchego, so it gives you his palate.
Well, if Troy Gardner can give us a garden variety of vegan cheeses to try, I'll try anything once. That's what I say.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't negatively affect me and those around me, I will try anything once. Give us a garden variety, buddy.
I think here's my, and I've said this before on the show, here's my only hang-up with, and it's not really a hang-up, but here's my issue with vegan and vegetarian products, is when they try to say, oh, this is like this. Oh, here's chicken strips, but they're vegan. Just say like they're soy strips. Like just say what they are and stop trying to compare them, because in my mind I go, okay, this is going to taste like chicken tenders, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
And it tastes no way like chicken tender, which is fine, but just name it what it is. Like say, hey, here's some cashew juice or whatever it is. Here's some cashew paste or whatever, the soy slices, whatever it is. Like call it what it is, and I'll be okay. But if you start saying, oh, this is like cheese, it's not.
I think we're missing the American music right now.
Right, the soapbox. Don't try to put a square peg in a round hole here. Make your own thing, all right? Make the meat eaters jealous of the cool thing you came up with. How about that? Instead of trying to just ape what we've already done. Or what society already did. I'm not going to say I did it. I say we like I did something. Right. I didn't do anything.
Like you raised the cattle?
Yeah, I did nothing. I'm a consumer. Yeah,
but
totally.
There's definitely a lot of things going on, and I will be curious to try it. I don't see how I. And again, apparently I'm wrong. I'm not in the right circles, because I did not know that we were third for vegan.
Yeah, third, top 3 for sure. I saw it, I was like, really? And I was like, ooh, these looks interesting.
I need to get out more, because
me too.
Wow.
I mean, it does not surprise me that this is in Denton of all places.
Yeah.
Because they have such a awesome mom and pop type of atmosphere, and they do so much pop-up stuff, and just like that city is very, very vibrant. So it's cool that Denton County, but the city of Denton is popping like that.
I think I made someone mad one time from Denton because I said, "Oh, Denton's really cool. It's a lot like the Austin of North Texas." And they were like,
no.
They lost it, I'm
yeah.
sure.
And it was like apparently that's a huge offense to say.
Really?
But it is.
It's a no phrase.
It is.
Yeah,
it is. Let's call it, hey, like you said, don't do false advertising.
Yeah.
Call it what it is.
I mean, I'm not saying you should put that on the sign or anything, but I'm just saying, that's kind of the vibe you're going for.
Welcome to Denton.
Welcome
the Austin
to
of North
the Austin of North Texas.
Yeah.
I can see it now.
We're weird too.
We find your picture taken in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
We put it on the billboard.
Yeah.
We're done.
We're done. Yeah. So it's one of those things. I feel like it has a cool vibe. For a long time, I never really went up there because it was kind of a college town and was deserted. I think they really defined themselves in a really cool way, and that's one of the parts of living in Plano I like about that little area is that Denton's really blossomed into some cool stuff. McKinney Square is phenomenal.
I love that place.
There's pockets of really cool things happening all around. Only if there was a way that I didn't have to hop in the car and drive everywhere. If we had good
Elon Musk.
Yeah, a good
public transport.
Yeah. I know that's a thing that you kind of have to struggle
Uber Air 2020, right?
Uber Air. Yeah.
Let's see what happens there.
The helicopters.
Yeah.
So, Coffee with Kyle's, thank you guys so much for coming on. Tell me a quick snippet about your podcast and what you guys do on Coffee with Kyle's.
Sure, yeah. So it's pretty simple. Coffee is culture. Culture is business. Business is people. So business gets done over coffee, right? So that's what Coffee with Kyle's is. It's a metaphor. It's scratching the surface of having conversations with really cool creators and entrepreneurs twice a week.
And our names are Kyle.
So there you go.
Yeah, there it is.
We'll put a link up in our comments where you guys can find the latest episode of Coffee with Kyle's. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day. Enjoy yourselves.
Thank you so much.
And you guys will see you back here on Monday for another episode of Lunch Break Show. Again, it's every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 12 until 1. And you can subscribe, and follow. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Awesome, guys. So, follow the lunch break.